Lawman, Wild Bill Hickok. His name echoes across the American frontier, whispered in saloons and spoken in reverence by those who walk the untamed land. But there's more to Bill's story than just gunfights and outlaws. Some say his spirit still roams these parts, tangled up in the eerie folklore of the Wild West. You ever wonder what it was that made a man like Bill both feared and admired, even after death? Born in 1837, Wild Bill Hickok was a man of many talents: scout, gambler, lawman, and gunslinger. But what really set him apart was his reputation for quick-draw duels and his larger-than-life persona. They say no man could outdraw him, and even fewer dared to try. Hickok became a symbol of justice in places where law and order were scarce. But with that fame came danger, and danger often brought death. You see, back in those days, every town was its own battleground. The American West wasn't just about cattle drives or gold rushes, it was about survival. And Hickok? He had a way of reading men, seeing what they were made of before they even reached for their guns. Many thought they could best him. Many tried. All failed. But the eerie part of this story, folks, isn't just about his gunfights. No, it's about what happened after. There are whispers passed down through families who lived near Deadwood, where Hickok met his end. Stories of people who've seen his ghost walking the darkened streets, still wearing that signature black coat and holding his favorite Colt revolvers. Some say they've heard gunshots in the dead of night, shots that echo long after the dust has settled. In 1876, Bill found himself in Deadwood, South Dakota, a mining town bustling with fortune seekers and outlaws alike. But it wasn't gold that Bill was after, it was a seat at the poker table. It's said that Bill always sat with his back to the wall, ever cautious of the danger lurking behind him. But on one fateful day, the chair facing the door was taken. Hickok, reluctantly, sat with his back exposed. And in a moment of bad luck, Jack McCall, a vengeful gambler, shot Bill in the back of the head. They call that hand the dead man's hand, aces and eights. But here's where the tale takes a twist. Some folks in Deadwood swear that Bill never truly left. Miners, travelers, even bartenders claim to have seen him, a shadowy figure, keeping an eye on those who dare sit in the chair where he fell. There's an old tale about a family traveling through Deadwood in the early 1900s. They camped near the spot where Bill was buried. That night, their young son woke up screaming, saying he saw a man standing over their fire, just staring at him, as if warning him to move along. The next morning, they packed up and left without a word. They believed it was Bill, watching over his final resting place. Now, some say Hickok's ghost lingers because he died before his time. Others believe it's because his story became bigger than the man himself, a legend that refuses to fade. But maybe, just maybe, it's because Bill's legacy was about more than just shooting straight. It was about facing danger head-on, about doing what needed to be done in a lawless land, even when the odds were stacked against him. We can learn something from old Wild Bill. Life's full of battles, some seen, some unseen. The frontier tested a man's grit, but it also taught him about courage, justice, and consequences. Bill fought for what he believed was right, even if it cost him everything in the end. And maybe that's why his spirit can't rest, because the fight for what's right never truly ends, even after we're gone. So, what do you think? Do legends like Wild Bill Hickok live on because of their deeds, or because of the stories we tell? And more importantly, what would you have done if you were in Bill's boots that fateful day in Deadwood? Did he know the end was coming, or was it just another gamble gone wrong? I reckon we'll never know for sure. But if you've got your own stories of the Wild West, or maybe even your own thoughts on Hickok's ghost, I'd sure like to hear 'em. Leave a comment below, share your tales of strange encounters or eerie experiences. After all, this land is full of stories, and we're all just gathering round the fire to share ours. Until next time, folks. Keep your eyes open, and your backs to the wall. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to catch more tales from the frontier. And remember, out here, every story has a lesson to teach.